Right, you're welcome back. It's still question time on Channels Television. Engineer Adeseyi Sijuwade, the Managing Director of the Nigeria Railway Corporation, is still here with us. He's our guest, taking a look at what's been done since he came on board as the MD of the Railway Corporation, and quite a lot has been said. But of course, this is the second part, so we'll just have to continue and take a look at some other areas that we've not really touched on. And that brings me to the issue of the headquarters of the Nigeria Railway Corporation. It's sited in Lagos. How significant is that? Perhaps we should start by looking at that.
The headquarters of Nigerian Railway Corporation has always been sited in Lagos. For as far back as we can recall, it has been in this same premises known as the railway compound. It's actually symbolic in that since well before independence, this is the same office block, the same office premises that the top management of NRC have occupied. So what we've tried to do, in as much as yes, we have tried to, rehabilitate, give it a good look, but we've also, but we've also at the same time tried to maintain that image, like I said earlier on, from a heritage point of view, and that's what you find in most parts of. Even in developed countries, if you go to London Underground is symbolic. There's still certain aspects of London Underground in terms of the facade of the building and things like that, stations, which have been maintained the way they are.
So in other words, it's just trying to keep the identity
that
so
is
that we
it.
don't lose anything, at least if not for anything, for history purposes.
Indeed.
All right, now let's take a look at the issue of the services that you render in terms of the freight and cargo. I know you touched a bit on it a while ago, but tell us more about that.
Freight is another area where we have actually made very good, remarkable progress. We know the situation in the country today in terms of congestion of our roads, in terms of state of our roads, prior to all the ongoing improvements that we see today. Most of the roads were badly damaged. It's all been as a result of road being the major, in fact, perhaps the only mode of transport. Most of the trailers, the tankers you see on the roads are not really meant to be on the road. It's not done. As a result of that, what we're beginning to experience in Nigerian Railway Corporation following the rehabilitation, particularly of the line from Lagos to Kano, is a sharp influx, migration of the movement of freight from road to rail. As we speak now, on a regular basis, we're moving cement, about 3,000 tons to start with, on a monthly basis from Ewekoro all the way to Kaduna, Kano. We're moving petroleum products, oil, AGO in particular, that's diesel, again from Lagos here all the way to Kano, Kaduna. We've actually started moving containers, bonded containers, from Apapa Port all the way to Kaduna, Kano. And what we're beginning to see is quite an alarming level of interest being shown by all various haulers wanting to get their products moved by rail. All our track materials, we're talking about ballast, you're talking about rails, again, all being conveyed by rail. The challenge we have, like I said earlier on, is that of the need to just acquire more wagons for this purpose. And what are we doing about that? It'll be interesting to know that towards the end of last year, we actually awarded a contract which will see the procurement of modern parts that will be used in modernizing about 120 wagons. What this means is that, it's just a 6-month contract. It means that in the space of by the middle of this year, we will actually have 120 wagons, which are just going to be like new wagons. I say this because the bogie system, the wheels, the braking system of all these 120 wagons will be replaced with modern ones. That undoubtedly will enhance our freight capacity. With that, we can now take on likes of flour mills, who are ready to move, as much wheat as we can convey from their mill here in Apapa up to Kaduna, Kano. We have likes of ICNL who again have another major depot, major inland container depot out there in Kaduna, Kano, moving containers, bonded containers are from here. The same thing with cement. The same thing with even produce like sugar and all this stuff that are agricultural produce coming in from the port that needs to be conveyed. Likewise, on the Eastern Line, we're talking about PZ soap from Aba, Grand Cereal from Jos. We're looking at the food baskets of the nations, the Makordis, the Kadunas, the Jos, the Lafias. The whole of that area actually move all their agricultural produce, yam, oranges, all sorts, by road all the way to Port Harcourt. Now that is going to change because next week we're actually having the first mixed train that will have at least 4 baggage vans full of agricultural produce to be moved from Kafanchan Makurdi all the way to Port Harcourt. And so what you're going to be seeing over the next few weeks is just an enhancement of what we've been doing in terms of movement of freight by rail, both on the Western Line and on the Eastern Line.
Right, engineer, on a lighter note, let's take a look at your personality. On a lighter note, how would you say that your foreign experience, from what you've been able to see, from your travels and all of that, how has it been able to get transferred, into the running of things within the railway corporation? And do you really think that we can compete, with other developed countries?
Well, my background, obviously has been very helpful. Prior to joining Nigerian Railways, I actually spent about 20 years of my working career in the UK, where I worked with likes of London Underground, Network Rail, and quite a number of multinational companies out there. So having had that experience of building and operating railways in London, I've been able to, have that knowledge and experience put to use here in Nigeria. In terms of where we are today, compared to what we have out there, I think we're actually on the right path, particularly with in respect to our efforts towards getting the private sector involved in the development of railways. Out there, railway development, operations and all that gradually is being moved completely out of the hands of government. Is something which, with the government now having built these lines in order to, maximize, or shall I say, optimize the benefits of all the funding that the federal government has put into it, I think this is the right time to bring in the private sector to partner with us in taking our operations and even the development of the assets to the next level.
Now, before I let you go, really, I'm so I really have to ask you this one. You are of the Sijuwade. I mean, your surname actually says Sijuwade. Are you one of the royal Sijuwade family in Ile-Ife, or should I?
Yes, indeed. From the
connection?
same. Yes, indeed. From the same royal family of Olubushe Ile-Ife of Osun State. Yes, part of the big royal family.
And how is that, in terms of the relationship?
Oh, in terms of the relationship, my father is a junior brother to the Oni of Ife, Oba Okwade Sijuwade.
And I hope they've been giving you the much needed support even while you take on this national assignment. Oh,
yes, indeed. That's why it's good to have family. Family will always be with you. And that's what I've enjoyed from the royal family of Sijuwade.
All right, I guess we just have to round it up there.
Thank you very much.
Adeseyi Sijuwade, Managing Director of the Nigerian Railway Corporation. But thank you so much for spending time with us on Question Time.
Thank you very much, Ayo. It's nice having you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Adeseyi Sijuwade has his work cut out for him indeed, and as the boss of the Nigerian Railway Corporation, he believes his wealth of experience in the railway industry will continue to put him in good stead as he continues to ensure that the railway industry is completely modernized, where Nigerian rail transport users will enjoy the best in terms of improved service delivery. It's hoped that the much-needed investment for the railway industry will come in to help improve the NRC in its entirety. from the coaches to the train stations to the infrastructure and most importantly, the workforce. Well, that's our package for this week. Send your questions, comments and suggestions to questiontime@channelstv.com, or you can also watch us online via channelstv.com. That's on our YouTube platform. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Until I come your way again, it's bye for now.